Hello and welcome to a short little 5-minute sequence that will be great for if you have been sitting too long at your desk or if you're looking for a little sequence that you can do right before laying down for bed. It'll help you kind of release some extra tension that might be stored in the muscles and really relax and unwind for a good night of sleep. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated position on your mat, or you can be just on the carpet, wherever is comfortable. You can be kneeling if cross-legged is not comfortable for you. Another option you can take, if you have tight hamstrings, if your knees want to come up higher, you can take a bolster or a pillow and tuck that right underneath. And that gives you a little bit extra support underneath the legs. So just find the comfortable position, let the sits bones meet the mat. Shoulders fall down away from the ears, and just kind of level out your posture so the hips and the shoulders and the crown, the head are all in alignment. And then we're going to take an inhale and sweep the arms up overhead to where the palms meet together at the top. And then exhale the hands down to heart center. Do that 2 more times with me. Inhale, sweep the arms up and together. Exhale the hands down to heart center. On this last one, really fill up the lungs, pull the diaphragm down. Inhaling, hands coming up together. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take a little twist side to side. So we'll hook the right wrist over the left knee, taking the left hand right behind the sacrum to kind of push the spine up straight. And then inhale, lengthening up through the crown. Exhale, twisting over. Just let the gaze kind of guide you here as far as it feels good. Don't force yourself further than you need to go. You don't have to look at the back wall. Just feeling that gentle compression through the mid-back. And then on an exhale, coming back to center. Maybe take a couple shoulder rolls here, frontwards, and then a couple more in the opposite direction. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhaling, crossing left wrist over right knee. Right hand comes back behind you to straighten up the spine, and exhale for the twist. Just turning the head as far as it's comfortable. We're keeping that alignment of the hips and the shoulders and the crown. Giving a little compression to the internal organs. Get some nice fresh blood flow in through there. And then on an exhale, coming back to center. We're going to make our way to all fours now for a tabletop position. So taking your wrists right underneath the shoulders. They can be out just a little bit wider if that's more comfortable. Right, nice straight line. If you ever have a mirror nearby, it's nice to use so you can check your alignment. Knees right underneath the hips, hip width apart. And first, just really set up this tabletop position. So we're pressing down, spreading the fingers really wide, pressing through all of the fingertips, not bearing into the wrist. And then notice that pressing, engaging the chest, and then lengthening through the spine. So we're like a nice flat table here. And then on an inhale, drop the belly down and lift up the hips. Let the gaze just slowly drag up as far as it feels good to go. And then exhale and reverse that motion. Tucking the hips first and let the spine kind of snake to where that middle point is up at the top and the gaze comes kind of between the knees. And use the full range of the breath. Follow your breath here on the inhale, lifting the hips, lifting the gaze, and just kind of seeing how expansive we can get while keeping our shoulders over wrists and knees and hips in alignment. Really feel in that cat pose, pulling the shoulder blades apart and releasing through the neck. And then on the inhale, we're pulling the shoulder blades together and really pressing the chest open and forward. And then we'll find a neutral spine here. We're going to go ahead and take the left foot forward in a 90-degree angle, keeping the right leg at 90 as well. So instead of leaning forward into our lunge, we're just going to stay right in position here. We're going to inhale the right arm up to the ceiling, and then exhale, just tilt slightly over, kind of pulling the armpit away from the hip. Keep the chest facing that front side of the mat, inhaling deeply through that hip flexor, and then exhale, taking the hand down to the side. Now we will slide that front foot forward for a little bit of a deeper lunge here. Plant the right foot down and just open the chest towards that bent knee. Doesn't have to be a big deep twist here, but if it feels good and you want to reach up to the sky, feel free. Press the top of the right foot down into the mat so you can feel the front of the right hip flexor opening up a little bit there. Exhale, take the left hand down. You can come up to fingertips if that's easier to slide the knee back. We're going to push back into a little child's pose, so open up the knees, let the toes come together, and just bring the chest down towards the mat slowly. Slide the fingers further away from you so you can really pull the armpits down towards the mat. If you feel any tenderness in the low back, you can bring the knees a little closer together. Roll out the forehead on the mat if it feels good. Then we're going to come back up to tabletop on an inhale. And we're going to step the left foot forward into that 90-90 here. Sorry, opposite foot. We're stepping the right foot forward this time here. Inhale the left hand up to the sky, and then exhale just a little tilt here. So you want to keep your head right in line with the torso and just feel the stretch through that front hip flexor, maybe feeling some opening on the left side of the hip and the side body, but don't dump over into it at all. Just let the breath still be really nice and full. Exhale back to center, the hand comes down. You can slide forward into that front lunge there, straightening out the spine. We're not arching over, and then slowly turning the twist in towards that bent leg. And you'll notice that if it is tighter on one side, then we'll have that kind of bowing in the spine there. So we want to come out a little bit so we can really straighten through the spine and get the most out of the stretch there. And then exhale, set the right fingertips down. We're going to come back into child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes together. And coming back down, draw the armpits down to the mat. Take a nice full inhale down into the belly right here. And then exhale out with a little sigh, releasing any extra tension that you might be holding on to. And then we'll slowly find our way back to a seated position. So you can be cross-legged, kneeling, using that bolster, whatever's comfortable. And then take a nice inhale down into the belly here. And then exhale. See how long you can make the exhale. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for a little stretch, and we'll see you again soon.